Welcome to Luscious Living, the podcast where personal growth meets wellness. Here, we talk about growth that feels nourishing, wellness that feels realistic, and habits that help you evolve without burning out. I'm so glad you're here. Let's grow together. Welcome to your mid-year check-in and glow-up audit. Now, this podcast episode is not designed for comfort. It is designed as a correction point. At the same time, something to elevate you, motivate you, especially if you are in a funk. Some people get really in a funk in the summer. I know for me, it's really in the start of spring where I just feel kind of weird. And it's also a great thing to do if you have a birthday coming up or you just had one already, and it's a great place to look at carefully to avoid the conversation of, I thought I'd be further ahead. And I am always thinking about my 80-year-old self and my 10-year-old self and making decisions from those places. But sometimes I actually will also look at videos and listen to people who have regrets of things that they wish they did or didn't do in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. And so if you feel like it is too late, you're too old, you're too young, please know that there is this insidious program that is designed that we all have collectively agreed on, that you have to be a certain age and that if you've already had some mistakes you've made, then it's already too late. But if you are 87 and still breathing, you are 23, you are 41, I want you to know that every single moment is a brand new day. And that is actually something I reminded myself of yesterday, where I slept in and I'm thinking, Celine, now the whole morning. Well, I still had a lot of the morning, but slept in for myself. I just felt like I had wasted the day, and I can be really dramatic and I can be very dramatic. But then I just thought, okay, pretend it's 7 a.m. What would you be doing? Right? And so I want you to, and this is my Sunday. I do like to take things slower on Sunday, but consider it to be 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever time that you get up on the weekend, whatever day of the week it is, whatever hour. I want you to really look at, okay, how do we move forward? How do we become the most brightest, smartest, funnest, lightest version of ourselves? And so I am going to go through different systems such as health, such as friendship, such as your home, your hobbies, and maybe some things will resonate to say, okay, I think I could do an upgrade here. I think I could do a cut here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is sleep, because that has been the number one thing. And if you've heard me talk about this before, sleep is definitely the thing that I am on and off with. And so looking at average bedtime versus ideal bedtime, looking at where the disconnect with yourself might be. Is it that you want to be in bed by a certain time and you never seem to get to that point? Well, that might not be realistic. Maybe you are a mom and you only have that time for yourself at night. Or maybe you're just in corporate and it's just the time that you get to enjoy. Or it's just, honestly, it's just those times it's just about reparenting ourselves as well. It's like, actually, it's all of those things and we stay up too late. And that's okay, because trust me, I get it. I have been there many times. And so I want you to think about, if it's not necessarily sleeping earlier, do you have any habits that might be distracting you from sleeping adequately, aka making you feel foggy in the morning? And the number one thing that is the path of least resistance is to eat earlier. So if you like to have a snack before bed, I know I do, having that a cutoff time is really, really helpful, because there is a comfort about, okay, now you're cozied up, you have some popcorn, I made some freshly baked cookies or whatever it is. That time that your body, and it's not even about digestion, I'm thinking about blood sugar. That blood sugar spike is going to make you feel super foggy the next day. So if you want to actually wake up feeling good, that's going to be my number one recommendation. And especially if you have a lot of dreams as well. And so another habit that you might want to incorporate is if you do want to get to bed earlier, have a cutoff time, is set an alarm, a bedtime alarm. A bedtime alarm to have a ritual and a ritual you look forward to. You can have a 2-step skincare program or 10-step. It does not matter, whatever makes you feel good, like that girl. You have your nighttime routine. I have really been enjoying doing a scalp massage with some tools that I have, enjoying a book, a fiction book ideally, that you can just enjoy and relax and get cozy into bed, some cute pajamas that you might have, a tea, herbal tea, you might have some magnesium as well, and just starting to look forward to bed because I know for myself, sleeping is just one of those necessary things. I always want to get to the next day, and I'm very much like go, 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 daytime type of girl, but having a routine to look forward to is so key at night too, because it just makes that next day so much better. And on that note, hydration. I want to do a little hydration check. Do you find that you're underhydrating or occasionally drinking water? You might be overhydrating as well. And so something I've been seeing a lot is too much electrolytes. So if you're not sweating every single day, you probably don't need electrolytes daily. If you don't have POTS, you probably don't need electrolytes every day as well. If you like the flavor, maybe you can add a little bit of that in there. But I really would not add in more electrolytes because that is going to actually harm the kidneys. And so having a step point, almost like a ritual. So in the morning, you have a certain glass of water. It's almost like your step count. You have your water in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. You might have your cutoff time for that as well. I am a huge fan of having a very cute water bottle. If you like adding stickers or charms or whatever to romanticize your life, we'll be talking about whimsy later on. Having that and just having that as a goal of, okay, you have one of those water bottles a day, and always checking your urine to see if you have too much water, which is just you're always doing output. There's more output than input. That's some other challenges as well there relating to kidney health that you can contact me about. But usually, if you are having more pale colored urine, you're drinking enough water. If, however, it's any darker than that, then I want you to be drinking more water. Again, if this is chronic, there's other things going on, this is going beyond just drinking water. So please be responsible there. Same with tea, caffeine, stimulants, my favorite thing as a student especially. But let's be honest, even when I'm not a student, is your caffeine, however, enhancing pleasure or replacing sleep? And I know, again, I'm always honest with you guys, it does both sometimes. But I have to say there is this beautiful ritual about having a lovely cup of coffee or tea as well. And I do recommend having some herbal teas if you don't have that in rotation according to your personalized needs. That could be dandelion root or hibiscus. It could be peppermint. It could be chrysanthemum. It all depends on your goals and your needs as well. And so I want you to cap or upgrade. And also, if you are mindful of calories, again, there are lots of drinks. I actually notice when you get an iced latte, most of the drink is the milk and then just a little bit of coffee as well. So that can definitely add up as well. Now, speaking of things adding up, we're talking about food. So I want you to ask yourself, how are you doing with your nutrition? And I want you to also ask yourself, am I making my life circumstance the reason why I'm not eating well? And I want to go deeper into that because I know I'm going to use my example and then things I see all the time with patients is there used to be a time where I would be moving, I would be stressed, that I would just have too many things going on, and that would completely make my eating go by the wayside. And now that's not even a thing because I will literally eat lentils. I will eat lentils. Like that's actually what I did for meal prep this week because I had so much going on is I cooked lentils and then I mashed up sardines in there, added my spices, and I put it in a Tupperware container. Does it look like cat food? Yes, it does. Does it taste amazing? No, it does not. Does it keep me full? Does it have fiber and protein? Keep bowels regular? Does it keep me satiated? Is it a form of meal prep? Yes, it is. And so I really believe we have to look at what is, the bare minimum we can do. It could literally be, and this is what I do a lot of the time. I'll have a can of sardines, and I'll put in an avocado, some olives, some pickled vegetables, and whatever else. Okay, I might have, and just call that a lunch. Or boil some eggs and then add some asparagus on the side. Again, they have to be quick and easy. If you are in a busy season, there's even more reason for you to eat well. And I think that we're so accustomed to just wanting to have these perfect meals and have, has to be whatever. It has to be like an actual meal. It does not. If you're in a busy season, it does not. You can literally boil 2 or 3 eggs and call it a day, right? And I know it can be there's different moods that we can have, that we crave different foods and we don't care. I know what it's like to not care, especially when I used to really struggle with binge eating disorder many years ago. I would just be like, screw society standards, screw anything and everyone. But guess what? I did care in the end. I did feel uncomfortable in the end in my clothing, seeing the mirror, seeing any sort of reflection. And so that's why I'm saying this as well, is because I really believe that if we had more people feeling confident, the world would be a better place. And I see this again with patients or clients of, again, work is really busy, and then there's just so much going on, especially when you add kids and pets and aging parents. Like, it's crazy. And that is all the more reason to serve those boiled eggs for breakfast. Again, it could be boiled eggs and a sweet potato. You don't even have to sit by the stove. Boiled eggs, medium, takes about 5 minutes. Boiled eggs, I actually don't really ever track, but it should take about 10 to 15 minutes. A steamer is one of the best investments you can get, a bamboo steamer. I just throw on hot water on a pan. I chop some vegetables, I put it on the steamer, and the steam gets it done in about 5 minutes. And this is pretty much anything. And again, is it so tasty? No, but guess what? We have eaten so many tasty meals. We're probably going to have one tomorrow. You're going to probably have one on the weekend. If today and the next day and the next week and the next 2 weeks and the next month, whatever it is boring, that's okay. That is okay. But prioritizing those whole foods and fiber is going to be absolutely key. And if you are in a mood of, I don't care, and that's really coming from the emotional state, well, then we have to look at that as well. And looking at multiple sources of delight, of pleasure, of joy, of reducing discomfort, essentially, as well in your life, and really supporting those emotions. Or, so with humans, we either move towards pleasure or move away from pain. So if you really want to get uncomfortable, this works for me, is putting on some pants if you've been in yoga pants a lot, or weighing yourself, or thinking about an upcoming event that you might be photographed in or have to see people in, and that does not feel good. Right? Or you move towards pleasure. You are going to this event and you have this dress picked out, you have this vacation, and you have this, you want to finally wear a bathing suit or bikini that you feel good in. And then you start to think about, okay, well, can I match my bikini to my sun dress or my sun hat? And then your mind starts to shift from what can I eat next to how can I coordinate my outfit? And that is something that I will say that I used to want to be able to wear what I wanted when I really was overweight. And now, I didn't know what I would even think about once I lost weight. I was like, all I think about is losing weight and how I need to lose weight. But then when you have to give yourself something else to chew on. So let it be outfits, let it be a hike you want to go on, a recipe that you want to cook or bake. Let it be a new restaurant you want to try, or a challenge of your pottery class or your dance class. Like, there is just so much out there to do that we have to give ourselves that pleasure when it comes to that emotional eating. Okay. So on that note, the next item here is fitness. Are you training for calorie burn, which is totally fair? Is it for a fun? Is it for a specific intention, such as strength, such as a new skill, such as a way to connect with new people or a friend? And I want you to think about, if we're looking at your fitness from a holistic perspective, especially if you're looking at it from a perspective of you when you're 60 or 80 or 100 years old, do we have the picture of strength, mobility, and cardiovascular health? So if you are not doing one or the other right now, and again, if all that just seems super overwhelming, and right now maybe you're new to working out, or maybe you're just doing focus on one thing, there's different seasons. Completely agree with that. But if you're looking holistically, I do want you to make sure that you do have some strength training. I was with my grandmother last summer, and she's very independent. And I was just very inspiring because I just thought it's less about photos and vanity. We all have some of that, but it's also about what the blood markers are, what your bone health is like. Do you have muscle? And so I want you to, again, think about strength. What's a program you can do for strength? It could be even twice a week, once a week if you're just starting. And I have to say, this is weight bearing. Yes, body weight is also so wonderful, like calisthenics or Pilates, but also looking at weight bearing exercises, mobility, that's huge. I see it all the time in my acupuncture clinic. Is actually both strength and mobility, lack of both of those things. And again, it could be a 10-minute hip exercise workout. And it's funny, I actually just sent a patient, a lovely patient, a hip strengthening exercise. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it too, because if I'm going to send this video, I'm going to do it too. And so I did, and it was awesome. And the other one is cardiovascular health. Now, for most people, walking 20 minutes every single day is actually going to change their life. Walking has completely changed my life, and I don't think it's promoted as much because it's free, and it's helps to target the biggest risk in the world for health, and that's cardiovascular health. And again, I'm speaking so generally and simplistically. There's so much more to it, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. That 20 minutes a day can be just life-changing. And again, maybe if you have foot pain, knee pain, 5-minute walk. 5-minute walk around your house, 5-minute walk around your block, around your building, whatever it is, that all counts. And I want you to just catch where you say, well, it's windy, it's rainy, and I hate those two weather conditions, by the way. But it's like, okay, it's cold, it's icy, it's, by the time I put in the effort to put on my jacket and my crampons, whatever it is. But I want you to know I have those same reasons in my head, and I just walk while I'm thinking about these excuses. And, there's crampons, there's hats, there's gloves, there's podcasts like this to listen to. There's just so much, and I really do encourage it. And so what is one physical upgrade you can have over the next 90 days around that? The other aspect of this is your social ecosystem. Who truly energizes you, who pumps you up, who's excited when you're excited? I think it's so easy to be happy for or there for people when things are going wrong. I used to think that a good friend was there for you when things are not going well. But now I see almost the opposite, where everyone is okay, like, oh, I'll be there when you're down, which is so important. But what about when you're doing well? What about when you're succeeding? You buy a house, you're in a great relationship, you launched a business, you're killing it in school. Can those people be happy for you? And honestly, you're going to find that there's only maybe one, if one, person who's genuinely happy for you. And that's really important to know, because especially if you're in a season where every bit of energy counts in terms of who you spend time with, who gets into your mind, I want you to really prioritize that and prioritize your own thoughts first. Prioritize your own, I actually love this video I saw. It says like, I care more about the color of my coffee than I do about your opinion. And that is actually funny enough when you focus on yourself, that's the reality. You're focused on your goals, you're focused on the bedroom decor that you want to do for your all the pillows. You're focused on, how do I nurture my orchids that are at home and keep them growing? How do I find the best eyelashes for my eye shape? How do I find the best, recipe for a potluck? Like, you just have to care so much more about those things than maybe someone's judgment who doesn't know about you, people who can't come along the journey. And and this is not my idea, but the campfire analogy of, people come and go on the campfire, and you're not waiting for them to stay. You're not begging them to stay. You also it's open, it's there. And that's just the way that, when people can come warm up to the fire, but you also are enjoying that fire. And I don't know if I explained that greatly. However, I feel really passionate about just the fact of, you need to keep people who are excited for and with you. And if you are also someone who's not excited for people, I want you to look at, what is the thing that triggers you? Why? What is it? Is it the travel? Is it the fitness? Is it the relationship? Is it the knowledge? Well, then I want you to bring that focus back to yourself and be happy for that person, because it just proves that someone else can also do it and achieve it. And then focus that energy back to you and how you can become happier, because it is always the bitter, unhealthier minded people who are always hating on the people who, got their glow on. So, are your relationships expanding your future, or are they anchoring your past? So I want you to do an audit. Are there people who upgrade your standards? And if so, can you also give back to them, check in on them? Can you also meet more people who are elevated in standards? Again, if you are matching that, noticing where you would need to match that, and people who dilute your focus as well. And so I want you to look also at people who feel safe, emotional grounding, people who stretch you, and then just noise, and really being able to prioritize your time and energy accordingly. The next aspect of this is hobbies and identity expansion. So do you have any hobbies right now? Anything that helps you be creative, anything that is movement-based joy, anything that's curiosity-driven learning. And if nothing exists, this is not optional. It's missing identity fuel. And this is how you start to decenter work and everything that's happening at work, whether it's good or bad, everything that is, stressing you out at home, things that are stressing you out in the external world that you have no control over. Come back to those hobbies. It's not futile. And I used to always think it was. And there was a time where in my 20s, I was really hustling so hard that I did not focus on my hobbies at all. I did not read any fiction books. I did do lots of dance, lots and lots of dance. However, I want you to really take a look at what is something outside of your regular routine that helps fuel you. And I encourage it to be in those three categories: creativity and expression, movement-based joy, and curiosity-driven learning. Next one, and that is similar to that, is your input diet. What are you consuming mentally daily? I love that I have I treat all of any bit of social media as my personal newspaper. I will click on uninterested on anything I do not want to hear. I have even input on certain social media channels, words I don't want to have come up for me. And yeah, you might say, okay, well, that's living in your own bubble. Well, yes. Exactly. And let me tell you, those people who are living in their own bubble are usually wealthier, usually healthier, and usually happier. So I just want you to think about why you might want to be informed of everything going on, because it is draining. And trust me, I am coming from a place of understanding deeply all of these, because I have done all of these the opposite way in order to speak about it. I really feel like that was my my life training, as I find that I am someone who has to go through things to learn and then be able to share about them. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm still I'm still figuring that out. And so input falls into expansion. So new ways of thinking, new perspectives. Okay, so this could be doing logic puzzles. This could be learning how to have strong debates. So what like lawyers do, learning about blood pressure. Maybe you have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, and really understanding that from a medical standpoint, even for yourself, so you have some education. Again, we're not medical professionals when you do a Google search, but at least you have some knowledge. It could be maintenance. Maybe you're learning how to maintain, how to do your nails. You're learning how to do sales. You're learning or maintaining how to do creative writing. And then, of course, there's degradation. And I want to say something on this, is a lot of times people they give a lot of flack for like frivolous TV shows or reality shows. And I have to say, I'm watching Desperate Housewives and I quite love it. I love Sex in the City. And sometimes I would feel guilty about watching that. I watched Singles Inferno, which is a Korean dating show. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is like not helping me learn in any way, or new thinking. This is not maintenance. But it was just something that to take my mind off of things, something while I wash the dishes, something that helped me relax and feel good. And, so I just want to say, everyone has their own categories of this. But obviously what I want to say is something I used to do is fall into these rabbit holes of just different ways of things that were not helpful about world news, essentially. And I would just feel really, really crummy. And I just thought, how is this helping me reach my goals? Because what some other people in the media and celebrities, I'm like, what sick things they do is none of my business, actually. And it just helped me say, okay, because I'm like, what's the difference between someone glued to the news and having that dictate their entire life? What is the difference, right? How does that help me? How does that help me, be a better partner, a better friend, a better daughter, a better citizen? It does not. It actually would be debilitating. So I really want you to audit how much time you spend with that. And so if it doesn't shift your perception or make you feel good again, I want you to really consider what is worth your time, because your time is extremely valuable. Then with your goals and execution, is there anything that you said that you would do that didn't happen, or something that you said you would do and did, or something that you said you wouldn't do and did? And so that's normal. Okay. I do want you to write it down though, and really look at why it did not happen. I know for some of us, we forgot about our goals. For some of us, we put too much on the plate and then couldn't do all those goals. Sometimes you have to just delete a goal. Sometimes you have to shift the timeline. You have to definitely drop any sort of shame, and then look at maybe there's something worth doubling down on. And so was it a lack of clarity? Was it a lack of scheduling? Was it a lack of timing? Is it the wrong timing? And so that's something that I want you to also look at. Now, when it comes to your home life, your environment design, visual clutter has been shown to cause cognitive drag. So I want you to audit your sleep environment, your kitchen, your drawers, your work setup, your home binder, and really look at, are those things functional? Are they clean? Are they purposeful? Are they aesthetic? And is there anything that would help you feel good? Because as humans, we like to look at nice things, right? It's true. You look at flowers, you look at a landscape, you look at a beautiful human, there is a dopamine surge that fills our brain. And so if you open up the cupboard and it's complete chaos, maybe it's the cupboard of your towels, it's your shoe organization, your garage, your fridge, your beauty products. I want you to just take a little audit and start to delete things that you don't need, that are not adding value to you, and add in a basket, add in a hanger, add in a binder or a page protector or something like that. I want you to think about how to make things more beautiful and more functional. And there is just something that feels so good mentally when we do that. And then really the last few parts of this is to really look at trimming, cutting the fat. Is there anything you've been doing out of obligation? Oh, we've been friends for 20 years, and so I feel obligated to da 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 da. I've always eaten this way, and my friends eat like this, and so now I also have to continue eating like this. Or the fear of letting go, a fear of maybe even there's a scarcity mindset of, if you let go of a person, well, is someone like this ever going to like me again? Is a job like this ever going to pay me like this again? And the benefits, and there's just so many. I want you to think about, are you coming from scarcity at all? Because if you are someone who's continually optimizing, upgrading, and becoming a better version of yourself, and you're listening to this type of podcast episode, know that things always get better. That's just the way it goes for you. And so if you need to cut a social obligation, maybe book club is just dragging on and you have been feeling obligated to go because your friend started it, or you wanted to get out of the house and now you're just not sparking your interest, and anyways, you feel like you should go. Or again, a friend that is somehow not happy for you when you're winning, or it's a habit of eating too late close to bed, or it is not drinking enough water and forgetting your water bottle in the car. It's so many things. Again, we're all human. I want you to just think about, what can you cut? How can you trim the fat? And then we have the expansion phase, of course, the glow up system. So you're adding strategically. And again, this doesn't have to be now, but a new physical habit. This could be upgrading your floss to a nicer floss. This could be doing a seasonal color analysis and getting the blush or lip gloss to match. It could be that you have new running shoes that finally feel like they don't hurt your feet. A new intellectual input upgrade. It could be that you have had this fiction book or this nonfiction book on your list and you're finally watching it or reading it. It could be that you have a list of foreign films that you have on your list and you watch that. You do 10 minutes of your language learning. And one social expansion move. Is there a book club you could join? Is there a networking event? Maybe it's tennis lessons. Maybe it is golf lessons, or it's a women's golf circle. Whatever it is, there is so much in this world and so much for you. And again, I have to say, this has to be simple enough to survive those low motivation, low energy days as well. And now my favorite aspect of this is the whimsy layer. Adding some randomness. If you are like me, you also thrive on variety. Variety is more than the spice of life for some of us. It is an essential. It's like garlic, okay? And so this might be a new cafe. And again, sometimes I'm like, oh, do I really want to drive like half an hour to get this, new cafe? Yes, I do. Maybe it's a new spa you go to. It's a weekly aesthetic walk, meaning that you put on your cutest outfit and you go for your walk. It's learning something useless but beautiful. And this is really to help to move just out of only productivity, but documenting your life, living in your life, and having it truly feel like a movie. I think that's the biggest thing. And I like to do that by listening to Italian summer music while I'm getting ready in the summer. And again, having that candle, having different types of teas that I enjoy trying as well. I love putting on a cute outfit and going for a walk personally, adding sprinkles to my coffee, adding fun ice cubes, just looking at those cute small ways to really feel like the main character and glow up. So in closing, we are not rebuilding your life, or maybe we are, but we're just looking at redefining what already exists. And this is, I want you to start with subtraction first, because that just clears overwhelm. If that means going to donate some clothes that when you put on, you don't feel good. And that's actually what I'm in the process of, is I have some clothing that I have assigned myself to try on, see how I feel in it. And again, for those of us who have gone through, when I lose weight or when I XYZ, it's like, none of that, please. Okay, girl. So I'm looking for myself clothes that I feel like the color is not quite right, or I just haven't worn it. You can sell it at consignment. You can donate it. You can look on Pinterest to look at what outfits, what shoes, what jewelry, what hairstyles will go with it. So that was from the subtraction note. So subtracting. This could be a person. This could be a habit. This could be a obligation. And then the next 6 months are really going to be determined by what you stop tolerating now. You have so much to offer this world. You are in the right place at the right time, tuning into this. I trust this was helpful. Thank you for tuning in. Stay luscious, and I'll see you next time. If this conversation added value to your world, I'd love to receive a 5-star review from you. It really helps to reach the right ears. For deeper dives and curated resources, be sure to check out the links below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll meet you back here next time.